Hello everyone. So today we are going to start the second chapter of your book, which is polynomials. So what we are going to study? We are going to study polynomials. Okay. So you guys have also studied polynomial in your previous classes. So what we are going to do first, we are going to do like we will recall that what we have studied in the ninth class and the previous classes, and also we will go through it that what are the things given in your 10th class. Okay. So let's recall something. So first tell me polynomial. So what do you mean by polynomial? Or you can say ki how the polynomials are represented. So remember one thing, polynomials are always represented like constant, constant multiplied by variable, constant multiplied by variable, variable and to the power whole number, to the power whole number. Okay. And then in this form, and then again plus this is variable 1, then again I will say constant 1, then there will be constant 2 multiplied by variable 2 to the power another whole number. Okay, I will say whole number 2. So in this way we represent our polynomials. For example, I will say ax plus b, or you can say 2x plus 3. Correct? So you can see constant. Correct? So here is your constant, and then variable, here is your variable, and what is the power of x? Power of x is 1, means whole number. Okay, here it's 3. So you will say, sir, there is no x over here. Yes, there is x is there. This is x to the power 0 is there. I've told you that anything to the power 0 means 3 to the power 0 or 4 to the power 0 or 10 to the power 0, everything is going to give 1. So anything to the power 0 is equal to 1. So if here you are seeing only constant, means there is x to the power of 0. Okay. So in this way we write our constant multiplied by variable to the power whole number. So in this way we represent our polynomial. Okay. So in your previous classes you must have studied few polynomials. So like linear polynomial. Have you heard? Linear polynomial. Also, apart from linear polynomial, anything else? Yes, quadratic polynomial. Okay, and then cubic polynomial. So these are the three types of polynomial you have studied in your previous classes. So what are these polynomials? So any example of linear polynomial? So any example of linear polynomial is just take 4x plus 3. Okay, quadratic polynomial, I will say 2x square plus 3x plus 2. Cubic polynomial means you can say 6x cube plus 4x square plus 3x plus 1. Okay. So these are the examples, and also if you remember, you have studied degree in your previous classes. So what is degree? Degree is the highest power of the variable in a polynomial. Highest power of the variable in the polynomial. So in this polynomial, what is your highest power? So what is your variable first? So variable is your x. And what is the highest power? Highest power is 1. So degree of linear polynomial is always 1. In case of quadratic polynomial, what is the highest power? Highest power is 2. So in this case, your degree will become 2. In this highest power is 3. So in this case, your degree will become beta 3. So this is your degree. So what you are seeing from here? You are seeing that linear polynomial can be written in terms of ax plus b, where a should not be equal to 0. A should not be equal to 0. Why? Because see beta, if a will become 0, then this whole ax part will become 0. Means after that it will no longer the linear polynomial, correct? After you will just left one constant, so it will no longer be the linear polynomial. So a cannot be 0. Similarly, in this case, I can write ax plus bx, sorry, ax square plus bx plus c. Here also a cannot be equal to 0. B can be 0, c can be 0, but a cannot be equal to 0. Similarly, in this case, it's ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. Here also beta a cannot equal to 0. So these are the things which you have studied in your previous class. One more thing I forgot to tell you. Come here. So what I have told you beta, that the power of variable should always be whole number. It means if somewhere it's written like suppose 3x to the power minus 3 plus 4. So when someone is going to ask whether this is a polynomial or not, or it's written like x to the power 1 by 2 plus 3, this is the polynomial or not. So clearly say no, this is not the polynomial. These two are the not the polynomial, because what is the variable over here in this polynomial? So in this polynomial your variable is x. Here also your variable is x. And what's the power of the variable? In this case it's 1 by 2. In this case it's negative 3. But what should be the power of the variable? Power of the variable should always be the whole number. And what are whole numbers? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are your whole numbers, means non-decimal numbers, and no negative number, no fraction number, no decimal number. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. They are your whole numbers. So just remember this one thing. Anywhere in the exam or in anywhere you might receive 1 mark question. They will ask you, tell me whether tell whether 3x minus 3 plus 4 is a polynomial or not. If not, justify your answer. So what will you say? No, this is not the polynomial because the power of the variable is not a whole number. In order to become a variable, in order to become a polynomial, the power of variable should always be the whole number. Understand? Okay, now let's move to your topic, like what we will have to study in 10th. So few things also before that, which I like to tell you guys, that there are two things which we are going to study, which you have already studied in 9th class also, that the value of polynomial at suppose x equal to any constant value k, and zeros of a polynomial, zeros of a polynomial. Okay. So suppose there is a polynomial px, suppose there is a polynomial px equal to 4x plus 3, correct? Polynomial px equal to 4x plus 3. So simply what will happen, so the value of x could be anything beta. So suppose I am saying x equal to 1. So this will become p1, x equal to 1. So p1 will be, means 4 times 1 plus 3, which is equal to 7. If I will find beta p2, this will be 4 times 2 plus 3 is equal to 11. So similarly, if x equal to k, so I can write beta 4k plus 3, means pk is equal to 4k plus 3. So in this way we find the value of any polynomial. Now come here, it's saying that the zeros of a polynomial. So what do you mean by zeros of a polynomial? So suppose beta px, I am going to take the same example, px equal to beta 4x plus 3. So you will have to find the value of x. What you will have to find? You will have to find the value of x at which, means value of x at which px will become 0. So then x is called zero of polynomial px. Understand? Means you will have to find a value of x at which the px will become 0. How? So see, now I will find the value of x over here. So your polynomial is 4x plus 3 beta, and it should be equal to 0. So if you solve this, so 4x will become minus 3 and x will become minus 3 upon 4. Means in this question, if the value of x I am going to put minus 3 upon 4, so come here, so I am putting just I am going to find p minus 3 upon 4 value. So what it will be? 4 multiplied by minus 3 upon 4 plus 3, correct? 4 cancelled out, minus 3 plus 3 equal to 0. So see, now the value of px is 0. So hence we will say that the 0 of this polynomial px equal to 4x plus 3 is your minus 3 by 4. So from here what you are seeing, have you seen any observation? So there is one observation, very important observation, which you will have to write, guys. What is that observation? That observation is saying that if there is a polynomial px equal to ax plus b, and if I will have to find the zeros of px, means you will cite the 0 of px. This I am talking about only for the linear polynomial. Okay guys, so the 0 of px will always be equal to, how will you find? Ax plus b is equal to 0, so x will be equal to minus b upon a. X will be equal to minus b upon a, means if you will have to find the 0, if you will have to find the 0 of a linear polynomial, your answer will be minus b upon a, means the constant negative of the negative value of the constant term multiplied by the coefficient of x, sorry, divide by the coefficient of x. How I will write? I will write that minus constant divided by coefficient of x. Okay, so in this way you can find the 0 of a linear polynomial. Okay, so hope you guys understand this, how you will find the value of a polynomial or how you are going to find the 0 of a polynomial. Okay, now we are actually going to start with your 10th class. What is there in your 10th class? So in the 10th class we are going to study the geometric meaning of zeros of the polynomial. What we are going to study? Geometric meaning of zeros of a polynomial. Okay, so what is geometric meaning? Geometric meaning means you will have to draw the graph of the polynomial, the graph paper. Okay, so we will do it, don't worry, in the graph paper. So I will take one example and we will solve it. It will be easy for you to understand. So let's take a linear polynomial. So a linear polynomial, I am going to take px is equal to x plus 2. Okay, and now we will have to draw this on the graph paper. Hope you guys know how to draw a linear polynomial on the graph paper. You guys have studied in your class 9th. Okay, those who don't know, anyway, I am going to explain. So in order to plot the graph, of px equal to x plus 2, so this is your x-axis, okay, and this is your y-axis. Means your px is nothing but your y. So simply you will replace this, y is equal to x plus 2. Whenever you will have to plot the graph, what you will have to do? You replace the px with x plus 2. Means px with y. Now draw a table. Like this. This will be x, this will be y. Okay. Now tell me any value of x, whatever you can think, any value of x which you can put in this equation. So I am going to put x equal to 0. So what we will get if you will put beta x equal to 0 over here. So y equal to 0 plus 2 means you will get 2. Now put x equal to 1. So if you are going to put x equal to 1 over here, so what is the value of y? Y will be 1 plus 2 which is equal to 3. Correct? Now do your graph part. So this is your 1, this is your 2, this is your 3, this is your 4, this is your 1, this is your 2, this is your 3, this is your 4, this is your minus 1, this is your minus 2, this is your minus 3, minus 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Okay. So what is your first point? Your first point is 0, 2. Your second point is 1, 3. So where will be your first point? 0, 2 means x is 0, y equal to 2. X is 0, y equal to 2 means this point is your 0, 2. Correct? Next one is 1, 3 means this is 1. So somewhere this point is your 1, 3. Now what will you do? You will draw a line such that the line will pass through this point, something like this. Because if you will use your graph paper, it's going to be much more accurate. Okay, beta? So this equation is your px is equal to x plus 2. Okay, so this is the graph of your linear equation px equal to x plus 2. Okay. So now looking into this graph, what you are any observation you are seeing? Okay, I will tell you. So let's find the zeros of this polynomial. I'm going to find the zeros of px equal to x plus 2. So what I will do, beta? X plus 2 equal to 0, so x equal to minus 2. X equal to minus 2. Now tell me, where is your minus 2 in this? Means this point is your minus 2. So what you are seeing, beta, this is the point at which this line intersecting your x-axis. The graph line, in the point at which the graph line is intersecting your x-axis, that point is your zero of the polynomial. Correct? So that point is your zero of the polynomial. So we can simply say that the zeros of px means zeros of a polynomial px. Okay, what it will be? It will be equal to x coordinate. It will be equal to, beta, x coordinate at which the graph of px, x coordinate at which the graph of px intersect x-axis. Understood? The x coordinate at which the graph of px intersect x-axis is your zeros of the polynomial. So in this case you can see, beta, this graph is intersecting your x-axis at minus 2. So 0 of this polynomial is your minus 2. Suppose there is some graph like this. So how many zeros of the polynomial? So in this case there are 1, 2, 3. So 3 points, there are 3 points at which this graph is intersecting your x-axis. There are 3 points at which your graph is intersecting x-axis. So in this case there will be 3 zeros of the polynomial. Okay. So means number of times a graph is intersecting x-axis, so the same number will be equal to your zeros of the polynomial. Suppose there is a graph like this. So in this case, how many zeros of the polynomial? So this graph is intersecting your x-axis at 2 points. It means in this case, so there will be 2 zeros of the polynomial. Hope you guys understand it. Any doubt, anything you guys have? So if you guys are having any doubt, please post your doubts in the comment section or send me an email to info@rapidgyan.com. Okay, so there are few more things which I would like to tell you. That we know that your linear equation in the form of ax plus b, linear equation in the form of, beta, ax plus b of degree 1. Okay, for degree 2 it will be ax square plus bx plus c. For degree 3 it will be ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. So this is your, beta, degree 2, this is your degree 3. So for degree 1 there will always be only 1 0. There will always be, beta, only 1 0. For degree 2 there will be maximum 2 0. There will be maximum 2 0. Okay, it could be 1 also, it could be 0 also, but maximum will be 2. In case of degree 3, maximum will be, beta, 3. Maximum will be 3, but it could be less also, but maximum value should be 3. Okay, so how see? So degree 1, any equation of the degree 1 is going to cross your x-axis just at one place, so it will always have 1 0. In case of degree 2, beta, what happened sometimes, like suppose this is the graph, so it's intersecting at 2 points. So if it's intersecting at 2 points, so what will happen? In this case there will be 2 zeros. Suppose this graph is something like this, means just at 1 point. So in this case there will be only 1 0, beta. Now again this graph is something like this, means it's not intersecting your x-axis. In this case your degree is 0 means sorry, in this case your zeros will be, there will be no zeros of the polynomial. Okay, so from this what you are what is your observation? So your observation is, our observation is that ki suppose there is a polynomial px of, there is a polynomial px of degree n, there will be polynomial px of degree n. So in this case zeros of polynomial px will be maximum is equal to n. Max value is n, means it could be less than n also, but it cannot be more than n. Simple thing, if the degree is n, then the maximum zeros will be n or less than n, but it cannot be more than n. Understand? Good. Now we will go and we will solve few questions of your exercise, of your example. So this is your polynomial 2. Let me scroll down to the example part. Okay, so here is your, I think, example. 1 second guys. Okay, so here is your example 1. So what's example 1 is saying? Your example 1 is saying that look at the graph figure 2.9 given below. Each graph of y equal to px, where px is a polynomial. For each graph find the number of zeros. But very easy, what I have told you, the number of points at which the graph is intersecting your x-axis, that will be your number of zeros. So in the first case it's intersecting at only 1 point, so in this case the number of zeros will be 1. Here it's intersecting at 2 points, so number of zeros will be 2. Here it's intersecting at 3 points, so number of zeros will be 3. Very simple. Here it's intersecting at only 1 point, so number of zeros will be 1. Here also it intersecting at 1 point, so it will be 1. Here it's intersecting at 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 points, so your zeros will be 4. Understand? Very simple beta. Next in your exercise also there is only one question. So in this case look at the first case. In the first case it is not intersecting at any point on x-axis. So in this case number of zeros will be 0 because it's not intersecting at any point. In this case it's intersecting just at 1 point, so your number of zeros will be 1. In this case 1, 2, 3, so it will be 3. In this case 2, 1 and 2, so it will be beta 2. In this case 1, 2, 3, 4, so your answer will be 4. In this case it's 1, 2, 3, so your answer will be 3. Got it? It was very easy question, easy exercise. So okay beta, so with this I am wrapping up this class. So in the next class I will be starting with the next topic, which is your relationship between zeros and the coefficient of the polynomial. Okay guys, so alright, please go ahead and subscribe the channel. If you guys are having any doubt, please feel free to send me your doubts in the comment section, or you can send me email at info@rapidgyan.com. okay beta, and please make sure to subscribe the channel. Okay, thank you.